What's up, guys? This is Tyler from the Harringtons. We're back with a new video today. So right now, as of the recording of this video, it is November 16th, 2016, and the brand new Touch Bar MacBook Pros have just been released. And everyone's talking about them. There's a ton of hype about them. But today I'm going to talk to you about why I don't use a MacBook Pro as my primary machine, why I use an iMac, but I also have a 13-inch MacBook Pro that I use as well. So we're just going to talk a little bit about why I use two different computers and why I think this setup can be perfect for you as well. Alright, so the computers that I'm currently using are a 27-inch iMac, late 2013, and a 13-inch MacBook Pro, which is a late 2015. Okay, so now there's sort of a reason behind this. So a lot of people in the photography industry, in the videography industry, they love to use the 15-inch MacBook Pros, right? And I think that is an awesome option for a lot of people. But for me, it just wasn't really cutting it. And I'm going to explain to you why. So when I was searching to buy a new laptop, I had a 15-inch MacBook Pro in college. Searching to buy a new laptop, I was looking at the 15-inch MacBook Pros, and they're really, really expensive. The new ones with the Touch Bar that just came out, if you get it with the right amount of RAM, you get it kind of like with all the specs that you would want, it's $3,500 or above. Okay, and that's a lot of money for a laptop. I know Apple is a premium brand, and that's kind of what they built their thing on, but that's just a lot of money for a laptop, no matter how you shake it. Okay, and then the 13-inch MacBook Pros are significantly cheaper. Okay, but at the end of the day, the problem that I ran into was that the 15-inch MacBook Pro still isn't really powerful enough for what I want to be doing. Just with all the different video stuff that I'm doing, and just liking to be able to have just my programs run really, really fast and things like that, I found that even with the spec'd out 15-inch, which you're going to spend $3,500 on, it's still not really that powerful, right? The RAM is capped at 16 gigabytes. The processors can only be so fast, and even with the brand new one with the Touch Bar, they didn't really make a ton of power improvements, right? So for me, that just kind of wasn't really cutting it. And then I started looking into the iMacs, and I'm like, well, how much does an iMac cost, blah, blah, blah. And if you look at a 27-inch iMac, I'm looking at it right now, the 27-inch iMac 5K display, which is a beautiful display, starts at $1799. Okay, so obviously you're going to spec that out, and it's going to be a little more expensive, but that's cheaper than the 15-inch MacBook Pro starts. It starts at $199 or $1999. Okay, so that's a huge difference. So on this iMac, I was able to spec it out with, it has a 3.5 gigahertz Intel Core i7, 32 gigs of RAM, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 775M, right? And this is an older model, right? So the newer iMacs have even better specs than this. You can still get the 32 gigs of RAM, all this kind of stuff, and you're going to cap it out around $2,800, $3,000, right? Depending on what kind of hard drive you get and all that kind of thing. But this is way, way, way more powerful than even the most souped out 15-inch MacBook Pro. So that's why for me, it just didn't seem worth it to drop all that money on a laptop when I'm going to spend most of my time doing this, and I need this extra power, right? So this isn't going to be for everybody. If you're a photographer and the only thing you're running is Lightroom, you're totally fine with just the MacBook Pro. And honestly, I wouldn't spec it out all the way. You don't really need that much power just to run Lightroom. Lightroom is not a processor-heavy program, right? Having a lot of RAM is helpful, but honestly, I run Lightroom just fine here on a 13-inch MacBook Pro. So the question is, okay, well, why do you have a MacBook Pro? So we do travel a lot, and I do need to be working on the go, and sometimes I like to sit on the couch and work and things like that. So for me, the 13-inch is the perfect option, right? The 15-inch to me is just a little bit too big to have on an airplane. It's just a kind of a little inconvenient to have on your lap on the couch, but the 13-inch I feel like is a good it's a good size. It's just a good size. It's portable, it's light, it's still super light, and all that kind of stuff. But it has enough power on here that I can edit videos, and I can do things like that. If it's a vlog or something with a little bit of less data, stuff like that, you're not pushing so much power to it. But for weddings, this would be really hard to edit on, and the screen obviously is very small. Now, you could hook it up to a monitor, those types of things. But for me, the extra power that I'm getting, the power that I really need, you're not going to get out of a MacBook Pro. It's just not going to be there. So for me, I decided to go with the iMac and the less expensive MacBook Pro. So now if you add these two together, yes, it's going to be more expensive than just buying that 15-inch MacBook Pro. But I kind of evolved and got them sort of over time. So I don't know. So basically, if you're a videographer out there and you're just disappointed by the specs that you're finding in the MacBook Pro, I would honestly encourage you to look into the iMacs. Again, you're going to get that beautiful 27-inch 5K display, which is one of the best screens that you can buy. You're going to get the extra power, and it's going to be less expensive. And if you really want, you could go down to the 21-inch iMac, which is still pretty good screen size real estate, and you can get it souped up, and it'll be even less expensive. So that's kind of the system that I use. Again, laptop really only used for stuff that's on the go, working in coffee shops, things like that. And if it's something I know I'm going to be doing that's not a ton of power usage, emails, Lightroom stuff, small video editing on here. But if for all the big stuff, for all the weddings, anything where I need the extra screen real estate, all on the iMac. So yeah, so hopefully you guys find that helpful. If you're out there and you're kind of not sure what to do with these new MacBook Pros, you're disappointed, I would say look into this. Keep your old laptop, get an iMac, those types of things. Maybe it's good for you, maybe not. I'd love to hear if this is an option that you're kind of considering, what you use for your desktop setup, what you use to do your editing, things like that. So yeah, thanks guys. If you have any questions or anything like that, leave them in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like. And if you're interested in purchasing any of this stuff, you want to see exactly the specs and the models and stuff that I have, there's a link for that down in the description. So thanks guys, this has been Tyler from the Harringtons, and I'll check you in the next one.